Hi, it's Chef Paul, and we're back in the DK kitchen here at West Bloomfield at Henry Ford Hospital. So we're going to do something with a little chicken. The thing I want to talk to you a little bit about on chicken is this. You often see chicken and chicken breast on sale, and it's probably $1.99 a pound. But what you don't see is, and what you don't see can be the thing that hurts you, is that most of that chicken breast, at least 20% of that chicken breast, has been pumped up with sodium nitrate and other sodium chemicals and other liquids to puff them up and give them more weight. That's one thing, to the tune of 20%. The second thing is that when you put all that sodium into those chicken breasts, as soon as the heat hits the chicken breast, the protein starts to shrink, and the first thing it does is push out all that liquid. So you're paying 1/5 of the price just for liquid. That's the first thing. Second thing is, you don't know how the chickens have been treated, and I don't want to get off on a big humane thing, but if I am going to eat meat, which I don't at the moment because I'm plant-based, but I want to make sure that the chickens have been treated fairly and are fed a vegetarian feed, and that the chicken breast size is not crazy. Some of the chicken breasts in those big packs, they're a pound for a chicken breast. And we only need 3 to 4 ounces of protein. So if you eat a whole chicken breast in one sitting, you're eating 4 times as much protein as you really need. So I'm going to show you a couple of things we can do with this. This is a nice organic chicken breast. It's probably about 5 ounces or 6 at the most. And all I want to do is just clean it up just a little. There's no fat on it. On the back side, there's a little bit, but not very much here. And this is how I'm going to change the way that you look at a chicken breast. If you cook this now, by the time this is done, this end will be raw because of the thickness. By the time this end is finished, this end will be toast. So what we want to do is to level the playing or the cooking field with this one. So just take a very sharp knife, trim off any excess here, and start this side. There's a natural crease. And just push it flat, just like that. Turn it around. And now that you've established the thickness that you want, start cutting into the breast like that. And like that. Now, if I take my knife and run it across the chicken breast, 90% of that chicken breast is exactly the same thickness. Now, we're going to season it. A little bit of salt on the inside and a little bit of cracked black pepper. And today, we're going to put in a little bit of spinach that we wilted. You probably saw the video of that just a little while ago. I'm going to put in a little bit of spinach, just like that. And we're going to add a little bit of cheese, not a lot. What helps also is if you put the cheese in the freezer to freeze it before you put it in the chicken breast to cook. Okay? Just simply like that. Now, we're going to fold this back in. And we're going to roll it. And we're going to keep rolling. Shove that back in over there like that. And now we have a chicken breast roll. I'm going to remove these gloves, that one in particular, so I can tie. We're going to take some twine, run it a couple of times around, and just tie it like that. Again, in the middle. And what you're doing is you're keeping the breast together, but also creating a piece that is going to be all the same thickness pretty much all the way through. Okay. Now, once you've done that, you can trim these up just a little. And get our pan nice and hot. Now, you can go to and do 2 or 3 of these. This would probably feed 2 people with about 3 ounces of very lean protein. And of course, you're going to add other vegetables and things to that. So, get your pan good and hot. You can add a little bit of oil. This is our coconut oil. And you can add just a little bit of oil to the pan. Salt and pepper on the outside. And always take it top side down and lay it away from you. Just like that. Now, you want to hear it sizzle. The sizzle is what you want to hear. Don't touch it. So you can season the underside side of the chicken now. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of cracked salt. And again, don't move it. Just let it sit. Meanwhile, on a clean cutting board, we're going to chop up some vegetables here because we're going to do something a little different with the next chicken breast. Okay, we've got some cauliflower and the the florets just need to be cut down the middle like that. And these are smaller pieces that they're all about the same. Okay, our peppers. I love these little peppers because there's no waste in them. And again, if you want to take the seeds out, just take them like that. Take the little membrane out. Okay. And now we're going to roll the chicken. Quarter turn. If it's too hot, take it off the heat and just let it calm down just a little. Okay? Or you can add just a little bit of water to help steam it. Okay? And then put it back onto the heat. Okay, we're going to take our peppers, and I'm going to cut these pretty coarsely because I want big chunks on this one. If you don't like peppers, then obviously cut it finer or leave them out. Now, I like a little jalapeno, and this is going to be for the next dish that we're going to make. Right? I've got a little bit of celery, and cut them on a diagonal, on a bias, just like that. We've got some onion here, green onions. I'm going to use those for decoration. And I've got lime juice, and I've got jalapeno. Again, I'm just going to take the seeds out of the jalapeno on this one. Don't do this with your bare fingers. Do it if you've got gloves on. And I'm going to cut these peppers at a different angle so I know which ones they are. Roll it one more time. Again, you can add just a little bit of water, and that'll help steam it. Once this is browned all the way around, we're going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. You really don't need very much at all. Because remember, we've taken the breast that was like that and we opened it up, and all the level is all the same. So the thickness of the piece of meat is about a 1/2 inch all the way around. Okay? Now, that's all done. We're going to add just a little bit more oil, and we're going to pop that in the oven, 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. While that's cooking, we're going to take another pan, stir-fry pan, let it get hot, and we're going to take our vegetables, put them over on the side here, and take a chicken breast. And again, remember, just clean off any of the little pieces that are fatty or don't look right. Just take them off, just like that. And again, what you want to do here is to cut it against the grain. There is a grain of muscle, and you want to cut it against the grain, not with the grain, so that the pieces that you chew on are very small and they're not chewy. Okay? Pan, to check your pan, just take a little bit of water, and if it doesn't sizzle or do anything, it's not hot enough. So we want to crank that heat up just a little bit more. So we can cut it into strips, just like this. And again, we're doing against the grain. Cut it into smaller pieces like so. Some stores even offer this chicken cut like that. But really, you're paying for the convenience. So we're just cutting it like that, probably about 3/4, or say about a 1/2 inch across. Just like that. And again, this last little bit here, we might want to cut up just a little bit more like that. All right, we're going to take some salt, add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. You can add other spices to it. Hear the sizzle and watch the water bounce. That we know now that pan is hot. Add a little bit of oil, or you don't have to. You can just do it with water or stock. Add your chicken, just like so. Turn the heat down just a little. Get a single layer of chicken in the pan. And this chicken is going to cook really, really quick. You can add garlic, you can add paprika, you can add all sorts of other things to this. Right at this point, all we want to do is just cook the chicken very quickly and about 3/4 of the way through. You don't want to cook it any further. Okay? Turn it over. You're getting a little bit of browning. Crank the heat up, a little bit of caramelization going on. And the chicken will tell you when it's almost done. Look at the side of the chicken. All right. Now, once your chicken has cooked on the second side for no more than 2 minutes. No more than 2 minutes. We're going to take it out of the pan and put it off on the side. We don't want to cook it any further at this point. All right? If you have a little bit more oil, put it in. If not, we can do a little bit of water. We're going to add our vegetables. Again, we want to put the hardest vegetables in first. So the cauliflower and the celery go in first. The others we're going to hold back on. Okay? Now, I want to add a little bit of lime juice to these components just to give a little extra flavor. I'm going to add a little salt. And I would probably cover. If you don't have a lid, just take another pan like that and steam it. If you wanted to add just a little water in there like that and steam it, that'll work. Okay? In the meantime, I want to take my onion, my green onions, and do a chop of the onion. I love green onions and I love doing all the stem. All right, take that out of the way there. After about 2 or 3 minutes, the cauliflower should have softened and the celery should have softened. If you were adding carrot, the carrot should have softened. We want the hardest vegetables in first. Remember, the chicken here is still cooking. It's continuing to cook. The latent heat that it absorbed from the pan is still cooking the chicken. Okay? And again, you can just let it sit for just a little bit longer. And then the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to throw in, we'll keep some of these for here. But we're going to throw in the rest of the vegetables into our pan. We're going to add a little bit more lime juice. In fact, you can even leave the lime in there. Give that a nice little toss and cover. Now, if you have some rice or some couscous or some grains or something, this would be a great time to warm them up, steam them. If you had mushrooms, you could put mushrooms in. Any of those other things work really, really well. And again, this only takes just a few minutes. So to finish off this dish, we can add a little flavor. We can add, if we like, a little ancho chili to add a little zep to it. We can add a little red chili flakes, and or we could add a little tamari or a little low sodium soy. Any one of those ingredients will add extra flavor to the dish. We're going to throw back in the chicken and make sure that you get all those juices. Just like that. And we're going to turn it all the way down. cover with a pot or cover with a lid, or if you don't have any of those, and just let it steam for just a few more minutes. Such an easy stir fry, such a great way to use up a chicken breast. And in less than 15 minutes, you've got a wonderful, healthy dinner. So we're back in the kitchen here with our chicken breast that we've cut down to all one thickness and then stuffed it with some beautiful spinach and a little bit of cheese. And we pan-seared it and then finished it off in the oven. It doesn't need very much time at all. So chicken breasts like that are just the easiest way to go. We're going to take it out of the oven. Look at that. That's beautiful. And we're going to take this out, ready to plate it. And to our plate today, we're going to add some wonderful radish sprouts that we've grown. Radish sprouts are a great base and a platform really for the meat that we're going to carve. So we want to take the strings off of here. Carefully, just cut. Take the string off. There we go. There we go. And we're just going to cut this, let it rest, and we're going to cut it on a diagonal. And look at that. Look at that beautiful piece. We're going to put that onto the plate, just like that. Put the end on. And there we have a beautiful presentation of a chicken breast stuffed with spinach and with cheese on a bed of radish greens. We hope you're going to enjoy things like this from our kitchen. I'm Chef Paul, and this is at Henry Ford, West Bloomfield, DK Kitchen.